Sorry.
All right, hey everybody, welcome back. If you've been here before, if you're new to the channel, thanks for coming to check us out. I have Coach Icy Mike from Hard to Hurt. Oh, he's not rocking the Hard to Hurt shirt today.
No.
And he's got a funny hat on. He must have had a bad haircut or something.
Yeah.
But so I have, I had a question for him. I actually have two questions. So what do you think, because you guys were just talking about self-defense on one of Ed's videos, and you just did a video with Martial Arts Journey on what makes a good self-defense program. So I was thinking, what are several reasons you feel somebody should take kickboxing? Okay, it doesn't have to be self-defense based, but why do you think?
Because that's somebody, now that you said that, I was like, I have to defend kickboxing for self-defense.
So why?
My primary art.
You know, you could do that too.
That'd be tough.
But why do you think somebody should get into kickboxing? You know, whether it's an adult, a kid, whatever. Like, why do you think they should do that?
So the most important lesson in all of martial arts is not how to punch, how to kick. The most important lesson in all martial arts is how to get punched and get kicked, and then keep doing whatever you need to do.
Okay.
You know, and there's no way to do that other than getting punched and getting kicked. Like, that's the only way to do it.
Right.
All you guys that are too deadly to spar, you know, you've got to get punched and get kicked so that you know it's not that big a deal, so that when it happens, you don't go like this. Now, why kickboxing slots in, particularly, someone could make a good case that if all you care about is self-defense, the sport of kickboxing has like a lot of wasted time. It's like, we talked before about I always use the example of the BJJ blue belt.
Right.
That past that,
I think that makes a good point though.
We're not doing self-defense really anymore, because we're just learning how to defend against other people that do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Past a certain point, past probably a year to 2 years of good fundamental striking practice, you are beating everyone up that doesn't train. You know what I mean?
I can see that.
Pretty reliably. After about 2 years, I would say, you could box or kickbox a guy that doesn't train and almost guarantee victory, as long as we're not adding in weapons or ground fighting, yada, yada, yada. But even though a lot of my training is sportive, and I spend a lot of time doing this, which doesn't have a lot to do with self-defense, I am getting countless reps of knowing how far away your face is from my fist,
Makes
or
sense.
knowing how far away your body is from my leg. Like, I'm getting tons of reps of that. That if we only did self-defense based drills where we were not wearing gloves and not wearing shin guards, I wouldn't get all those reps of that.
Makes sense.
So yes, I practice cartwheel kicks. Yes, I practice spinning wheel kicks. You know what I mean? I like to practice all that stuff. None of it has anything to do with self-defense, but I'm getting practice of getting hit, trying to hit, managing range, being composed enough to try the more sporty, like esoteric stuff. I always miss that one. Yeah. Is that the right word? No, like a two-touch. Boom.
And we call it tornado kick.
This is a tornado kick.
That's for us is a spinning crescent kick.
Oh.
But okay.
Anyway.
Name it. Nomenclature.
All this stuff is kind of like bullshit, right? It's like, doesn't have anything to do with self-defense, right? But it's fun.
It is tons of fun.
And I'm getting practice of moving my body through space and trying to smash it against someone else's body, and or not letting them do that to me. You need that practice.
That makes sense. So not everybody knows. So I did ninjutsu for about 3 years in South Dakota. And so it was so funny that you say a couple of those things, because I be far away.
Well, I have a history with ninjas.
Oh, okay.
Is this one of those things? Am I being set up?
No. So it was funny because I came from karate, taekwondo, kenpo, and even a little bit of judo before I did this. So there was that exact thing, like, hey, we don't actually spar. It's more like I hit and then I roll away, and then you got to roll after me and then do this thing. And so the instructor was trying to show a move, and I don't know what the move exactly was. I'm assuming he was supposed to jump on me, like almost like pull guard, and he's supposed to monkey flip me.
Oh yeah.
And I just instinctively took a step back, like, what are you doing? And then he fell on the ground.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, you gotta tell me that so I can like hold you or something.
Right, yeah.
And I was thinking like, well, why would I hold you in self-defense or in combat? Like, this makes no sense. And then the instructor I had at the time also wasn't good at control. So he kept hitting people.
Yeah.
And people kept quitting.
Yeah.
Like he had the last move, and I would never recommend this to anybody, but so in Aikido we teach a technique called arimanage. So, and you taught it in your class just a few weeks ago because you did an Instagram video, and I commented, I'm like, hey, Arimanage.
I was teaching Aikido.
You were.
Oh, okay.
And so they threw the punch, and they cleared it, and then they clotheslined it.
Oh, yeah.
So in Aikido, we called it a Rimanage. Well, he taught a version in his where he went and he grabbed thumb under here, fingers in the eye, and then he went up and then slammed some kid into the ground.
That's awesome.
I say kid, but the dude was like in his 20s because we were all active duty military. Yeah. And nobody warned us that was coming.
So the guy was like limp,
he was
not protecting
like,
himself.
Boom.
Yeah.
And then that guy
he was expecting a compliance.
And then got slammed to the ground.
Well, you bring up an excellent point. That guy had no control because he never had to practice control.
Yeah, maybe.
And you'll see sometimes in the comments of videos, they'll be like, yeah, right, why are they doing this? Why are we playing?
Right.
Like, why would we spar like this? That's not realistic. You should always want to go 100%. You can't practice that.
No.
You won't have partners or you'll be out yourself. You know? Like not every practice session can be everything. So there's something to be said for me knowing that, like, if I'm in here, that I could crank this and hurt you, or do that and hurt you. But there's also something to be said for us just like hand fighting and trying to wrestle and, doing our regular stuff. Right. The bone I would throw the reality-based crowd is that I do think that MMA guys, wrestlers, BJJ guys, sport karate, taekwondo, kickboxers, the more sportive side of things, I'll throw the bone that they don't spend enough time thinking and talking about, or at least mentioning. If this were real, you kind of wouldn't do this. You'd need to maybe we practice some reps where maybe we do a sparring round. We're doing Muay Thai sparring. We're kind of kneeing each other. We're giving each other a little bit of love, flexed and ready. And then say we're going to practice if this were a groin strike, and maybe we slow it way down.
Right.
You know what I mean? But the answer to the question, why should we train? And I would go far, not just kickboxing, sport period. If you aren't going to compete in the sport, first of all, there's the fitness benefit. Yeah. You get way fitter training for a sport than you do training for like the too deadly to spar type stuff. And then practice of getting hit, getting knocked around, getting pushed, getting punched, getting kicked, and then staying locked in and doing what you're supposed to do despite adversity.
And you had said something, I know you're teaching in Concord, and you had talked about being the receiver, like, hey, somebody took the time to let you drill on them, so and I think that kind of ties into this too, in my opinion, like,
sport guys understand that.
They do?
Yeah, sport guys understand, like, hey, come in, help me get better.
Okay.
Sometimes the self-defense crowd or the reality-based crowd or even the traditional martial arts crowd where they're not doing a lot of contact with each other in their regular practice, they might not totally get that. They might think they're both practicing, but there's sessions and there's portions of sessions in sport where just one guy is really practicing and the other guy is basically a punching bag. Now he is obviously building some conditioning and building some composure, but I think that's one of the things that sport does that maybe like reality-based martial arts don't do as well.
So not everybody is like Van Damme or in Bloodsport. They just get beat up for
that's not how
years and years, and all of a sudden
like,
you're like, I am the master.
Yeah, you see in the movies they're like sparring bare knuckle, full contact daily. During the training montage, they're punching each other in the face with bare knuckles. I'm sure you're very tough and you could totally do that, but the rest of us need more reps with pads and wraps and gloves.
Like it. Cool. That's it. Great. Thanks, sir. All right. Well, you guys made it to the end of the video. You know the routine. I want you to hit that like button if you like this video. I want you to smash, just smash that subscribe button. I don't know what he's doing back there. I'm scared. I'm scared. And then last but not least, hit that bell icon. But please comment, okay? Are you okay?
Yeah, good.
He had an energy drink right before this video. But go ahead, put a comment in, because I would like to see more of your guys' comments, like to answer them. Awesome. You guys stay safe, keep training. I'm out.